Lisa came into my life in 2021. The college I was teaching at in Alabama had just announced a late closure due to stresses from COVID, and I was trying to find a new job very late in the year. Lisa was incredibly gracious throughout my entire interview process, and though she didn't really know me, she also helped me find a place to live in a very quick time frame. She was one of the first people I met in the area, and she was quickly one of my dearest friends here. Lisa has continued to be not only a friend and great support to me, but also a mentor, a champion for my work, a co-teacher, an intellectual, a thoughtful scholar, and a beautiful musical collaborator, as we have done 2 faculty recitals together at the college, as well as a few other performances. There are certainly talented artists in this region, but I can't think of anyone more deserving of this recognition. Lisa is so humble and constantly flies under the radar, though she is easily one of the hardest working people I know. Not only is she Dean of the Arts and Sciences at Emory and Henry, overseeing more faculty than any other dean, but she is also a full-time educator, the coordinator of our Guest Artist Series, a local church musician, a leader for Washington County Neighbors, an active performing artist, and a single mother of 2 teenagers. I don't want to speak for Lisa on what she is proudest of in her career, especially because, as artists and educators, there's a lot for us to be proud of in various ways: our teaching, our performing, our scholarship, our leadership and advocacy, and so on. I do think, however, that Lisa is really proud of the impact she has had on so many students' lives, which I'm sure you're hearing more about tonight. It's so rewarding to see your students go on to performing, teaching, or even other careers as good humans, and knowing that you had a part in shaping that legacy. When you think about all of the lives that she has touched in her previous and over 20 years as an educator, it's impressive and far-reaching. I would also note that she has mentioned to me that she is proud of her work as founding dean of the Arts and Sciences at ENH, and all of the new, robust faculty that she has helped bring to the college. Her work as an administrator at our institution will also have a lasting impact. Lisa has contributed to the arts community in abundance in our region. First, via the many ways I've previously mentioned already, but she also dedicates her time to judging local competitions, having served as president of our state MTNA organization, being a constant advocate for the arts because she understands how indelible it is on our human existence, and also volunteering and being a champion for women in this community. Additionally, her work as our guest artist coordinator and previous director of the McLaughlin Center for the Arts has brought many performing artists to this region and created opportunities for accessibility to these musical experiences that so many people in our region would not have had otherwise. I love how Lisa's teaching is constantly evolving and keeping abreast of the needs of the students that we have in front of us at that very moment. We have been co-teachers on one of our core curriculum classes, Women and Gender in Music and Culture, and I've seen this firsthand. She is a strong support for our college students, but also for students in the K-12 schools in the region, as she is involved in the art scene with her children, Lucy and Carter. I must say, Lisa is certainly the most student-driven administrator I know, and I believe she will maintain the purity of that mission in her time as dean. If a parallel world existed without Lisa, first and foremost, I would say that so many of us teachers at the college wouldn't be here in this region, and not just in the arts. Lisa is so very human and treasured by the faculty. She is a champion for us, she listens, she cares about finding connections. She cares about our ideas, our admitted frustrations, our creativity, and any other random idea that we might throw her way. Also, Lisa is the sole administrator invested in the arts at Emory and Henry College. I am proud and grateful that she is an advocate for us when focus is often lost to the money-making aspects of higher education, rather than the communal experience and joy of learning. She understands that the arts are what stick with you for a lifetime, and are a part of the human experience that we all share in one way or another. Lisa, to me, is a role model. She deals with hardship in the most gracious, human, and composed way. She is the glue holding things together, but she'll never let you know that it's her doing all of the behind-the-scenes work. Lastly, I'm incredibly grateful for her as a person. I'm so proud of her kind-heartedness, of her artistry, and of her extreme strength. I'm honored that she is my friend, and I'm so thankful that you are all honoring her with this much-deserved recognition this evening. Congratulations, Lisa. Love you.
Thank you all for being here. I'm very pleased to share space with you tonight. It's a great moment for me. I first want to apologize to my kids for those pictures. I didn't know, but they are great pictures. Anyway, I want to thank, of course, Jessica Spafford for that lovely introduction. She is one of my new friends, my new colleagues at Emory and Henry, and she is a wonderful person. I want to thank Dirk Moore, my good friend and colleague who nominated me for this award, and my colleagues from Emory and Henry College. I have a chemist and an artist and an English professor and a choir director here. It's a wonderful community to be a part of. And you know, the word community really comes to mind. It's really hard to follow up all these wonderful, my fellow awardees, because it's so inspiring to me to see the kind of work that you're doing in the community. And what I think is wonderful about the arts is that it's really a ready-made community. When you become someone who is engaged in the arts, it doesn't have to be a career, it can be just, it's a life, right? And I think what happens is we each have our own circle of influence, and those circles of influence get wider and wider as we go along in our careers. It's hard for me to believe that I've been in this community for 20 years. And I think our communities become interlocking. I was just thinking about, the fact that I'm still in contact with some members of my high school marching band, and how that was such a cohesive experience for me. My high school band director gave his last concert a couple of weeks ago, and I was able to send him a card on that occasion. I recently saw Bob Ballingy at Glade Spring Middle School give his last concert because my son is in the middle school band there, and it just gives you time to think about what kind of influence these people have on the people within their sphere of influence. So I'm really grateful to have been able to be in this particular community for so long. I think it's a wonderfully vibrant community, and I want to thank AAME for the award. I also want to thank several people who've been key influences on me, because another thing I think about artistry is that everybody you come into contact with, that you make music with, or you encounter in life becomes a part of you and the way you express yourself. And so some important people for me, one of them is my mother. I had a memory the other day of my first piano recital was with my mom playing a duet. It was called the Peanut Dance, and it was a fun time. But she was the one who got me started in piano at age 7, was so supportive. She kept every recital program. I think there must be like 1,000 at this point in a scrapbook. And she recently passed away, but I consider her a part of me. And when I am out playing, I always think about her. I had 3 great piano teachers. I have often thought I wanted to write a book saying that everything I learned about life I learned in piano lessons, because I think it might be true. But I had this wonderful piano teacher when I was younger. She was from Serbia. It was then Yugoslavia. She came over to the United States and ended up in my little town in West Virginia, Maria Summer. And she used to really inspire me to work towards excellence, and gave me a work ethic and gave me some really strong technique. She used to be a sweetheart, you did not play that correctly, and I always wanted to do that for her. So Maria was a really important part of my early growing up. And then I had 2 other teachers, Louis Nagel at the University of Michigan, who, the thing I remember about him is him telling me one time I was playing a piano concerto, and he wanted me to do a crescendo, a little bit louder, and I did it, but I was sort of annoyed at having to do it. And we got done with the phrase, and he said, it's not enough that I tell you that you have to do this. You have to feel the need to do it yourself. And that comment changed my whole approach towards what I was thinking about in terms of playing music. And then my dearest mentor, Dr. Christine Keverstan, who left us too early at age 63 a few years ago, and she really opened up the possibilities for me to be my best self. I often think about at the piano. That's where I feel the most comfortable. That's where I feel like I'm my best self. And so those people became part of me, and now I see myself and my students having that same kind of relationship. And isn't that a wonderful thing? That it just, that thread of influence of people believing in your potential continues. So I think of myself as a musician, I think of myself as an artist, but I really think of myself as part of this long line of people who are in community together. My students at Emory and Henry are like the most inspiring people that I come into contact with. When I think about the arts, I think about those kids who come in and form a community on the very first day, and I see them supporting each other. And it doesn't matter what race or ethnicity or gender or sexuality, it is a family there. And I think that's what the arts do for us. We get into an immediate family. And that support network, it takes some courage to be an artist, I think. It's really hard work, and because you are representing what it means to be human, and it's not always easy being human. And so when I feel like I'm on a tightrope of, having to have the courage to do the things that express what I want to express in the arts, I know that I have a safety net underneath me, and it's the community. And so I really would love to thank you for being part of that community. I want to thank my fellow honorees for also being part of that community. And let's keep making those connections and letting those ripples go forward. Thank you.